All right, we gotta talk about the tech choices out of the 275th YCS. Make sure you guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So, even though Plants had a fantastic showing out here, there were some cards that were brought up on the side of the tech choices that I think were pretty interesting. We're going to start off over here with Blink Out. Now, this is not the first time that we have seen Blink Out coming out of the woodwork and actually being a stupid good card. But it's target one link monster on the field, return it to the extra deck. Then you can special summon one of the monsters from your graveyard that was sent there as link material. Now, this was used in the feature match to blink out an access code talker that was relatively huge. And it is, in fact, a compulsory evacuation device for a quick play spell card. Now, the cool thing about Blink Out is you can also use this on your own plant monsters to, or any of your link monsters in general, to pop out something else for an extra attack burst to be able to, you know, ping your opponent for a little bit of extra damage. You just have to be able to summon back one of the link materials from your graveyard. It has to be your graveyard. Alright? Imagine if this would let you special summon a link material back from your opponent's graveyard. Holy crap, this card would be, like, beyond any sort of really cool application. Also, this doesn't have a holo upgrade yet. Real shame on that, actually. Konami, get to work. We need holo blink outs right away. But, to say the least out here, quick play spell card the Plants are able to use to out any sort of big link threats. Also, you know, you could technically use this to out an Apollousa if Apollousa was still legal. But, it is not. We're in the era right now. Also, this being able to blink out any link monster. It doesn't have to specifically be a link 4. You can do a link 3, link 2, a link 1. Whatever you need to have access to, this is all going to be wrapped up in a very nice bundle for you. So, very interesting little tech choice, to be saying the least out here. Now, this one didn't actually get the chance to show up on stream by... I guess it was brought up. I don't know if this was actually seeing play in the list or not, but it was Naturia Bamboo Shoot. And it's just, while you control this face-up card that was triggered to be summoned by tributing a Naturia monster, your opponent cannot activate spells and traps. Now, whether or not that this was actually seeing play in the plant list this weekend or not, I'm going to toss it into the possibility of the tech choices out here, because Stream was pretty interested in talking about Bamboo Shoot for the small amount of time that they had. Now, in terms of competitive viability, there are some Naturia cards that you can play in Plants. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head. They are able to be had, but the problem is you have to get those monsters onto the field or whatever tech choice you're doing, and you also have to see the Bamboo Shoot. So I don't really feel like the Bamboo Shoot is all that worthwhile in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's a cool idea, don't get me wrong. Alright, that's one of the things I kind of like to look at in these little tech choice breakdowns. And whether or not this actually did exist, okay. It's named Naturia Bamboo Shoot, though. One Veiler turns this thing off for the rest of the duel because it forgets that it was tribute summoned, evidently. Was the old ruling on it. I don't know if that's still the case anymore, but interesting. Interesting. Yeah, honestly, the Plant deck has so many incredibly cool ideas that you can play in it. And you can just have success with these ideas. That's the thing I love about it. You know, you take a look at all of this, and it definitely gives you some just hope, and I like that. Evenly matched. Oh my, even like Dark Ruler No More out here. These two cards over the weekend, I think, were the MVPs. Evenly matched, smashing through a full Yubel board is some of the most disgusting things that I have seen out here. And I've read a couple comments from people going, well, you know, hey, it's not fair that Evenly Matched can break down a board like this, but it's also not fair that, you know, Duelist can make this huge board. I hate to tell you this, but the way that current Yu-Gi-Oh! Is structured, with the big, you know, field go unga bunga, having cards like Evenly trading off a battle phase to force your opponent to lose cards down to the amount of resources punishes these decks that overcommit. And when you finally... I see this is the other thing I don't understand about how this becomes a massive issue out here. Because you have all these people that'll sit here and, you know, they'll go all these rounds. And then when they finally run into this deck, 14 rounds into an event, suddenly now a board breaker is a problem. Alright, you've got to play 13 rounds with nobody else playing board breakers out here. That suddenly, the one time you see the board breakers, it's a problem again. And I don't like that. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, alright? Board breakers in the situation they came up on stream feel a little bit rarer than they actually are, especially in 60 cards. But the Dark Ruler No More situation, in my opinion, was even more hilarious, alright? Being able to smash through a board and play the game, that's what you want to see out here. So, for the most part, I think evenly is fine. I think the current iteration of the game, board breakers, are good, and they punish those who overcommit. That's all there is to it. Just set the solemn judgment, Fivehead. And then Triple Tactics Thrust. In this small window of a format, Thrust is a very, very interesting card. 95% of the time, Thrust is toggling into attack talents. We're back to the original discussion that we were having with Thrust, that it's just usually going to pull into something else. But Thrust over the weekend also was pulling, you know, that grass looks greener. Unfortunately, you know, we didn't get a chance to see a lot of grass decks on the initial breakdown. In my opinion, obviously, that could change once more analysis come out of the event. But it's, once again, interesting to see how Thrust has kind of toggled itself back into the format here. Now, post Rage of the Abyss, you know, it's an entirely different game out here at that point. You could be seeing some crazy ideas be had out here with that. But, you know, so why you see the amount of attack talents reduced in most main decks down to 1 to 2. You see Thrust typically supplementing the rest of this, and then you see things like the Dimensional Barrier showing up. You know, the different dimension ground was a popular tech choice last format that people were using to kind of try to offset a lot of these things. It's pretty supplementary for what you're able to do with this. In worst case, I mean, you just pull an Imperm out of the deck, set it onto the field, mission accomplished. You're still getting, you're still turning that Thrust into some sort of other crazy power card. And Thrust has definitely been the TCG's equivalent to the powerhouse of things, just being able to find what they can find with it. You know, whether or not, you know, most people are using it as like a draw 2, for example. I saw a lot of attack talents resolving off of the Thrust for the draw 2. Alright, like, that is pretty much the standard that people are doing with this. So, all things being said right now, cool. Nice little tech choice. And then the Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. This did not see play this weekend, but the amount of times that we saw this stupid thing on stream, the amount of times that having this stupid once per turn, you can destroy as many other special monsters on the field as possible with attack less than or equal to this and inflict damage to your opponent, fire 500 each destroyed. Had the White Forest deck on stream been playing this underneath Dark Ruler No More, they would have been able to board break their opponent into the freest win of their life. Now, I'm not to say that, you know, if you're playing a White Forest deck out here with Dark Rulers and board breakers, dropless and things like that, should you be playing this, but I think after this weekend showing of things, maybe, just maybe, you should be giving a consideration to Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend underneath the Dark Ruler No More for the board break. Alright, you should probably be thinking about that, because cards like this that can wipe whole fields for zero reason, sure, no damage underneath Dark Ruler No More, I don't care. I care that, boom, I got to clear your field, now I can go into a game-winning position and be fine. Alright, that's amazingly important. So, I wanted to mention this because this, to me, was one of the biggest, you know, had you been playing this, you would have won moments I have ever actually seen out here. So, Scarlet's definitely back on the agenda for things. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.